Netanyahu just spoke with Trump and said that Israel is, he commended Trump on reaching the MOU. Israel is not part of it, and that Trump has basically stated that he hopes to get a final deal that will include the uranium, the ballistic missiles, and the proxies, all three. That's according to Netanyahu's statement. Just as a quick opinion, I don't see Trump agreeing to the regime's position. So either they're lying, most likely to save face, or Trump is playing them, because the leverage has only increased. Like, Trump has more leverage now than he did back then. There's no reason for him to back out just before making a strike. And if Netanyahu is saying the truth about the proxies and ballistic missiles, that would be all but a surrender deal. They're not formally giving up their power, but they're practically giving up their power, because their own supporters are not going to keep following them if they do this.
Okay, and Armin, last response?
So, yes, and in addition to that, guys, even if the worst case scenario happens, which I'm not saying it would, Israel is not part of this deal, right? And whatever United States and the Islamic Republic agree to, Israel has complete freedom to go and just do whatever they want to the Islamic Republic, and they're not going to give up. And United States, can basically allow Israel to do whatever it wants, and that doesn't tie their hand, and the deal does not tie their hand in any way, right? Also, guys, I just also want to mention that to go to this segment that Guy has started, this is really good. This is a more Israeli friendly time as well for all the Israelis here who think like a lot of the segments are go on too late and they want to go sleep. So we're adding more hours that is going to be focused on Israel, and it's also at a better time for Israelis. So just make sure you look at the calendar and see when Guy is going to have his segment on our, among our group calls. So we have me, we have Ali, and now we have Guy. So me and Ali, we are more informed about Iran. Guy was more informed about Israel, and hopefully soon, I'm not going to mention who, but somebody's going to have a segment that is going to be focusing on United States and maybe Latin America. And then eventually, I would like to add more segments with people who are more knowledgeable about UK, and then eventually China. And then we keep going and keep more. And people will come to our discussion group, and they look at the segments, and they see like, oh, these people are mostly talking about China. These people are mostly talking about the UK. This is more about US politics, and they could pick and choose which ones they want to attend. So thank you, guys. This is amazing that you're adding that. Yeah.
And also, I also have a YouTube channel independently of that, that I don't have open right now, but I'll quickly try to get it so we can put it in the chat. That will deal with Israel, both in live streams with Armin, but also independent segments where I explain things about Israel.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the YouTube live chat as well.
It's too late. I put it in the chat. Okay.
No, it's not too late. It's not too late because I'm putting it in the YouTube chat. There you go.
Okay. Someone quickly, please copy paste it from the school chat to the YouTube chat.
Too late. I did it already. Okay, there you go.
All right. So next is Pedro on Kharg Island strategy.
Ooh, okay.
So what I wanna tell you, Armin, is that I know Trump did say that he wants to take Kharg Island, but due to today stating that the bombings are now suspended because a deal is getting closer than ever, we might never know when will Kharg Island invasion will come up. But in case Kharg Island they take, in case the occupation of Kharg Island happens, I think one of the key reasons why it is so important is because aside for having 90% of Iran's oil, it also serves as a strategic point to invade other Iranian islands, and maybe Bandar Abbas as a main theater of operation to arm the Iranian people. Do you think that's a good strategy, or what is your opinion, Armin or Jeffrey,
I mean,
about that?
honestly, that would be the strategy I go with. I don't know if Kharg Island would be the best place for that. I think Bandar Abbas would be the best place to liberate and start as a base of operations to arm the Iranian people and then take over the rest of Iran. Kharg Island is an island, so I don't know if that would be the best place to. I don't know. Maybe it would have a strategic advantage for being an island as well. You know, actually, Kharg Island is actually a good place now that I think about it to start as a base of operations because the Islamic Republic would be more hesitant to shoot at it, given that their most important oil infrastructure is there. So maybe the infrastructure will provide some form of a protection. Someone's mic is open, by the way. And so yeah, maybe actually you're right. That's actually a good point. Maybe an island also provides protection to the people who are training there. The fact that it's surrounded by water, maybe, and it's easy. Maybe it's easier to protect, given that you could be surrounded with naval assets. I'll let the sketch and maybe Jeffrey say if that's a better idea. However, but Pedro, please also keep in mind that Khark Island is so vulnerable that President Trump might have just mentioned it as a reminder to the Islamic Republic how vulnerable the Islamic Republic is. Maybe they're talking about the MOU, and the Islamic Republic was being annoying, and Trump was like, okay, how about I take over Khark Island? And they were like, okay. So maybe that was he just mentioned that as a way to basically put more pressure on the Islamic Republic regarding the MOU. That might have been the only reason why he mentioned it. We don't know. We don't even know what we don't know. Okay. There are unknown unknowns here. Anyways, we went all full Romsel here. I see some twos in the chat.
And
Yes.
I'm sorry
Oh, go
for
ahead. Go
that.
ahead.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, what is your opinion on that strategy, on Kharg Island strategy, the same one we talked with Armin? Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's not here. There are other people who put two in the
Okay.
chat. If Jeffrey comes
Yeah,
and
let's
puts a
go.
two in the chat, he will respond.
Jose?
Or
So Pedro, let people put two in the chat, so we'll see the people who want to talk and respond to it. They will respond. So let's go to them.
okay.
The only reason I would see to take Kharg Island, you're right, Armin, it's well two-way exposed, but it's to finish off choking off the RGC from any revenue source whatsoever. Because there are apparently a few ships that have escaped with Iranian oil or in the Iranian shadow fleet that have been caught out at sea. So that would just be the only strategy I see is worthwhile. As far as using it, like we were thinking of using the other island to train resistance, they're too wide open. There isn't enough coverage on that island. Not really. That's just a thought on my point,
Okay. Sketch.
Yes, the second you take any point in Iran, that point is going to become a target. That's the problem with taking any point. One of the reasons you would defend Kharg Island is because you suspect the regime is about to have, okay, this is kind of like, kind of a cliche thing, but that guy that's kind of a psycho and the girlfriend leaves him and says, if I can't have her, no one can, and tries to kill the girlfriend. So the IRGC is kind of like that. Like they might attack some of their most important facilities, one of them being Kharg Islands. That's why, like, if you're in the final stages, you might want to defend that area if you're about to go in and hunt these people. But taking it just to hold it on a long term, I would see it as very, very difficult. There's an airbase there, but it's just being there. I would rather have ships around it defending than just put myself on the ground there, because everything in there is very explosive, right? So if you launch a barrage of drones, just like try to saturation attack, it would be kind of easy to take it out. So taking that island is very difficult. I understand the threat of it, but I holding it would be incredibly difficult unless you have already done what Jeffrey likes to call that 5x5. You've put down 39,000 targets and you've taken out, then you can maybe talk about holding land like that. But it's a very difficult land to hold, number one, because of the explosive nature of everything that is there, the value of everything that is there, and just basically that you're just making yourself a giant target. Second, you announce yourself, I'm staying here, you're a target.
All right. Ian is next.
I think Sketch mostly covered what I was going to say. The only thing I would add is that you might do it if you're trying to prevent eco-terrorism. I guess if they're gonna continue with that bent, then you might want Kharg Island. Otherwise, I'd be very surprised if he would pre-announce and then take Kharg Island, as in having troops on the actual island, because they're just sitting ducks there. So it doesn't seem like what's going to happen to me.
And lastly, Shauna.
I just wanted to the biggest thing. I mean, this is just kind of reiterating what Armin already said, but we actually don't fully know what Trump wants with all of these negotiations, because if you like, I have not read his book, but from what I've seen from people who have read his book, they're constantly kind of pointing out like the way he negotiates is the way he negotiated in real estate, which is that he wanted one thing and then he kind of throws random stuff out there and he just never admits what he actually wants. We have no idea what his end goal is. We're kind of guessing. I just wanted to point that out. Like, that's one of the ways in which he came up in real estate and was successful was by doing that. So in the interview that I watched, they gave like the sidewalk analogy, like you want the city to build the sidewalk for you to save some money, and then you negotiate around that, and you don't ever admit what you actually want. So so I don't know. We know that he wants
We do know.
well,
do know.
other than no nukes, but he could have other assessing goals. The only thing that we do know that he wants is no nukes, because nobody in their right mind wants no nukes. And I think Trump is an unusual human being, but I don't think he's suicidal. So I think nobody that values life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness wants Iran to have nukes. So, but other than that, he might have other goals. I do believe what other commentators that I've been watching say, which is that his main focus is China, and Iran is a big bolster to China. And so I still think the end goal is probably China, and Iran is one massive puzzle piece in isolating China, because they, according to the interview I watched, they declared that they wanted to go to war with America in 2027. So that so that's one possibility. I do think China is still the main focus, even though it doesn't really feel or look like it right now.
All right, thank you, Shauna. Let's go to super chats.
Okay. Before I read the super chats, I just want to encourage especially Israelis and anybody who's interested in Israel, to again check the calendar for Guy's segment. I would like to, like, if people from Israel here could confirm, some of them, that they're gonna check it out, that would be nice, because we want to make that segment, we want to keep promoting that segment, and also tell other people to join that segment as well. Yeah, if you know anybody in Israel that time works for them, please, even if they're not in this group or in the on our YouTube channel, please go around and tell people that this is going to be a great discussion group regarding Israeli politics, and invite them there. All right, so thank you guys, thank you. All right, 2 super chats. Yael from Jerusalem saying, "Where is Pezeshkian after his resignation request? Any update?" I mean, he's still doing his thing. He's still where he always is, in his office, being a fake president of the Islamic Republic. He's constantly now getting attacked as proof that he's not a Zionist spy because of this resignation. There's so many people cursing him in the streets among the pro-regime supporters, saying that his resignation is proof that he's trying to use his resignation as a way to force the supreme leader to bend to his way. Like he's trying to force the supreme leader to submit to the Americans using the resignation as a threat, which I don't know why that would work as a threat, but that's what they're saying. And I also saw a speech by somebody to the pro-regime people, like, don't, like, they tell you that nobody can force the supreme leader to do anything. That's false. The president can force the supreme leader to act against his will. And he gave the story of Imam Ali, the first Imam of Shia Muslims, that he was very successful in war against the Khawarij and Muawiyah, but then his own so-called supporters forced them into a peace deal, which is actually the story of Imam Ali. They forced him into a peace deal with Muawiyah, even though he was very successful at the battlefield. And they're saying this is happening right now again. Mojtaba, our supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has been very good at leading this battle against the Americans and Israelis. But now, in the same way that happened to Imam Ali, they're now trying to force him to submit into a unfavorable peace deal. So they're already, it seems like the people within the Islamic Republic are preparing for an MOU or a deal by blaming it all on Pezeshkian and using this resignation as proof that he's trying to force the hands of the supreme leader. And I don't think, and his resignation hasn't been approved, by the way. I don't think the resignation has even been responded to. Like, I don't think, I think they're just pretending like it didn't happen. And thank you for the question. That was an important update. And we have Amir with another super chat saying the only super chat I left in bigger news channel, Agenda Free TV, was to never trust Morandi. He's a lying puppet for the IGC for years. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. We call him Marandi Charandi. Charandi means nonsense. Okay, thank you, Amir. Thank you for the super chat.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.